Check it. Alright, what is up? You are back for another video with Data Zero. In this video, we're looking at AMC stock, Jamie stock, SPY stock, and more. I'm going to show you the AMC reverse split scenarios. I'm going to be looking at AMC stock reverse split, telling you guys what I think is going to be happening based off the charts, technicals, and facts. Once we have the reverse split, I'll be able to tell you guys a lot more, but we're going to look at 3 possible scenarios for AMC stock. We're also going to look at the history of stocks that have reverse splits before. We're going to look at the Mullen squeeze that is currently happening right now. We're going to look at NVIDIA. We're going to look at the cryptocurrency market. This video is packed full of information that you need to know as a stockholder or somebody that plays in the crypto market. So with that being said, let's go and hop in the charts, the facts, the data. Let's go. Hey guys, what is up? You are back for another video with Data Zero. In this video, we're going to be looking at AMC stock. We're going to be looking at AMC stock, give you guys an update. We're also going to be looking at Apes stock, SQQ, multiple other stocks, and the overall stock market. So we're going to be checking out crypto as well. This is going to be your overall update for AMC, the meme stocks, and the market. Let's go and hop in the charts and see what we have going on. This video is not financial advice and should not be taken as such. Please do your own research and technical analysis before buying any stock or crypto asset. Now, let's go ahead and hop in the charts and see what we have going on. So NVIDIA is up. NVIDIA is up in after hours. It's up 7% in after hours. NVIDIA earnings came out and it did have a nice pop to the upside. We're going to watch tomorrow. It might have a little bit more run to the upside before seeing a overall downside capitulation. It does seem like tech is about to have a little bit of a run, though. It seems like tech's about to have a little bit of run. This is what I did predict. I do predict one more run for tech before a overall crash. So basically I expect the NASDAQ to get a little bit of pop up, filling this gap here, and then having a overall capitulation. So basically a double top type scenario, and that would be the same thing for SPY as well. There's a gap fill on SPY, and I do think it will get filled. Right here is the gap on SPY. You guys can see it right here at about 455, 456, around that range. So I do think this gap will get filled. I do think the SPY is actually about to get a significant bounce here to the upside. So I do think SPY is going to move to the upside. Now, me personally, I'm playing a play called SQQQ. Now, this is very, very risky because you are literally shorting the market, okay? You're literally shorting the market by playing SQQQ. This is a play that I do have in the Discord, so I want to point out that it is risky. But me personally, I am accumulating SQQQ because I think the market is going to have a pullback after this bounce to the upside. I think the market's going to have a pullback, and that is going to make SQQQ pay out very, very handsomely. So I do think SQQQ is about to have a little bit of a dip. You guys can see this ascending triangle right here, which is a bearish, overall bearish technical because it always breaks to the downside. You can also see that there's a gap fill on SQQQ. So I do think we're going to move to the downside, and it's going to move deeper into my accumulation range. I'm going to be able to buy this dip, accumulate this dip down here, and then when we get the overall crash, sell off in this gap fill here and this gap fill here. You can see that on the NASDAQ and on SPY, there's gap fills to the downside. You can see there's a gap fill here, there's a gap fill here. So there's multiple gap fills for SPY and the NASDAQ to the downside. I do think those gaps will get filled. And we will see an overall capitulation to the downside. You can see that the NASDAQ has a gap here. The NASDAQ has a gap here as well. So I do think we're going to see an overall capitulation to the downside for SPY and the NASDAQ, which will cause SQQQ to pump up dramatically. It will pump up dramatically. So I am looking at that to be happening around the time of September. So I am going to be accumulating SQQQ, and it also does pay dividends while we are waiting for the overall rally. So that's what I'm looking at for that. Bitcoin is also seeing a nice bit of bounce here. We're seeing a nice bit of bounce in the crypto world. So as far as today, we're seeing algo up 4.5%. We're seeing XLM. XLM is having a decent pump. XLM's up 6.6%. So XLM having a decent pump. We also have other coins like HBAR having a decent pump. Pepe having a decent pump as well. SUI is having a decent pump as well, up 15%. So you guys can see there has been some gains in the altcoin market and the overall crypto market for the year. We can see that XLM is up 14% for the year. XRP is up 52%. I did buy more XLM and XRP. I do think these are super plays as well.
I'm loading up on XLM, XRP. There's also another one, XDC, but I only own XRP and XLM. These are the two coins that I own, XLM, XRP. I do own other altcoins, but again, I am heavy in these two coins as I do think they are a super play. Also, Ethereum, I think, is a super play as well, because if it flips Bitcoin, it is going to go to the moon. And of course, I think Bitcoin itself is going to go to the moon around 2024. If you have never experienced a crypto bull run, like a true crypto bull run, back when crypto went up to about 1K, when we had this crazy bull run on Bitcoin, when it ran all the way to the upside here. If you guys have never experienced an altcoin season, trust me, you're going to want to experience an altcoin season. My portfolio literally doubled almost every other day. It was absolute insanity. You want to experience an altcoin season. And when Bitcoin was running like this, it had a crazy altcoin season. And when it ran like this, it had a crazy altcoin season. So if Bitcoin gets above 31K, another altcoin season will go in effect, and you will see absolute madness, especially if another bull run comes. So again, not financial advice. If you have never seen a crypto bull run, you're going to want to see a crypto bull run. But I do think the SPY is going to have an overall bounce at upside. That is what I'm looking at for crypto. Let's go ahead and hop into stocks. I do think SPY is going to have an overall bounce at the upside, filling this gap fill up to the upside. Now, we do have to watch. There's heavy resistance for SPY at 445 and 447. Heavy resistance in these ranges. SPY is already pushed up to about 445, trying to break above this resistance right now. It might have a little bit pullback here when the market opens, or it could push up to about 448, hitting its head and then having pullback. But again, there's going to be a lot of resistance in this overall general range of 446 to 448. So watch for resistance there as SPY meets those levels. Now, again, I do think we're going to go up and fill the gap with the bounce that I'm seeing here. I do think we have enough momentum to actually go up and fill the gap. We can see that the MACD is starting to curl. We can see momentum slightly starting to shift to the upside. So I do think we are going to get enough momentum for SPY to fill this gap to the upside. Let's go to pop on the alligator. You can see that momentum is starting to shift as well as the alligator starts to curl as well. Again, this is the macro time frame. Macro always overrides the time frames underneath it. Now let's go ahead and look at AMC. AMC in the meme stocks. AMC slightly up in pre-market. We've seen this insane amount of crime. As you guys can see, it just literally being barcoded to death, ping pong to death throughout the day. This is literal crime, as we do have over 80 or 100 million volume, 100 million volume today, 100 million volume today. That is from the algorithms. That's from the algorithms trading it back and forth real fast to try to pin it to one price. That is also why we see these candles like this, where it's just sideways like this. That's why you see those candles. It's algorithms trading it back and forth real fast. That's why we're seeing this crazy amount of volume as well. So this is straight manipulation that they are doing to AMC, trying to keep the price pinned to a certain level. Now, the reverse split is going to happen tomorrow pre-market. Tomorrow pre-market, the reverse split is going to happen. So when you wake up, AMC's price will be at about $1 or $19. It will be at about $19. Because if it splits at about $1.90, it will go to about $19. I do apologize, $19. So once we see the split, there's a lot of things that we have to look for. Okay, the first thing that you want to look for is to see if short interest suddenly drops. Short interest will get reported. We can also use Ortex to see if short interest suddenly drops, but you want to see if short interest suddenly drops, because that will be a very bad thing. Again, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news or a Debbie Downer, but guys, we have to face reality. If we see short interest drop very low, then we know that the chances for an actual squeeze, maybe a rally could be high, but a chance for actual squeeze, you can't have a short squeeze without shorts. So a chance for the squeeze is greatly diminished or entirely erased if shorts completely cover or short interest dries up to a certain level. We want to see short interest at least above 8 to 10%. You want to see short interest at least above 8 to 10%. Also, we want to watch the threshold security list. AMC is still on the threshold security list as of 8/22, so we want to make sure that AMC doesn't suddenly disappear from the threshold security list. If it does, that's going to be indication that they erased all of the FTDs, and it is in fact a cleanup operation, the thing that we do fear. Also, we do have another fear as well. Again, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I just have to point out the realities, because some people have a lot of money in this, and it is not a game for this. They cannot hold to zero, so I need to make sure those people are aware of the risks. So the risks are, again, the short interest dropping, this actually being a cleanup operation and them erasing the FTDs, the short interest dropping because they cover during the reverse split. Also, we have the risk of the 500 million short, the 500 million shares. So they do, AMC filed an 8K that will give them the ability to print 500 million shares. So if we do have a rally to the upside, they can literally dilute the thing and stop any type of rally that we might have, any type of momentum. They can literally stop it because they have 500 million shares available to short. Now, what I'm looking for, and I'm going to explain the bullish and the bearish scenario for after the split. So I'm going to explain this very, very clearly and spend some time on this so you guys get a good idea of what's going on. So we go up to about $19 during the split. So you'll see AMC pop up to about $19. What they're most likely going to do, and this is going to be the bearish scenario, what they're most likely going to do is you'll see AMC pop up, then you'll see it drop down, because they're going to want to try to, by market open, push it down far as possible before market open. So I expect to see it around 10, maybe $8, because they're going to try to push it down as far as possible before the market opens. When the market opens, we could see a little bit of a pump up, or we could see a further capitulation where it then finds a bottom and gets a bounce. Once it gets the bounce, we can then see if we start to return to the upside and maybe get a rocket to the upside. We might have to consolidate, but again, we might be able to rocket to the upside if we get consolidation and we don't have to worry about the FTDs being erased or the short interest being dried up. So again, we could see a bounce to the upside if we don't have to worry about those things. After an initial move to the upside pre-market, you see them try to drop it down as far as possible before market opens. But if we can stay above $8, if you can stay above $8, it is going to be extremely good for AMC. Also, some benefits of the reverse split are that shorts will have to cover at a higher price. So shorts will have to cover at a higher price if they do cover after the reverse split and do not short it back down. And another good thing about the reverse split is that it does decrease the float. Now the float will be increased by the dilutive shares. So again, it does decrease the float, but in the same term, it does increase the float after all, because it does dilute and it will increase the float that way. So you guys, you want to be aware of those things. But this is basically the bearish scenario. The worst case scenario is that we split, they short it, dip back down, and I guarantee you guys, after this is all said and done, AMC is probably going to go to about 50 cents to $1. Okay, so AMC is probably going to go to about 50 cents or $1. We probably will see a rally, but the worst case scenario is AMC doing something like this. You see it get shorted, finds a little bit of a bottom, and then eventually ends up getting shorted back down to the ground, back down to about $1.50 around that range. So we have to worry about that type of scenario, especially after a reverse split. You guys have seen it with Mullen. You will lose everything. Now, Mullen did have a nice little rally today. So again, there is evidence that stocks can see some types of squeezes after a reverse split. We've seen BBIG do it, and we've also seen Mullen do it just recently. Right here, Mullen did a 19. Let's go ahead and get the whole move percentage. It's in after hours, so I might not be able to get the whole move. Right here, so you guys can see it did an 86% move, an 86% move Mullen did right here. So again, it just did a reverse split, you guys, and this is a perfect example of what you'll probably see. A reverse split, then price drops down, it finds a bottom, starts to trend up, and then comes back down, finds a bottom. Hopefully AMC does something like this and gets a nice run to the upside. This is Mullen, this is Mullen stock. We can also look at BBIG. BBIG also had a reverse split, so we can use this. Again, AMC are not these stocks, but this is something we can use as history to kind of get context of what we might be looking at for AMC. So BBIG also had a reverse stock split. right here we're looking at BBIG. BBIG had a reverse stock split. Basically, let me get the chart right for you guys. So basically back here, let me put it on the 4 hour so I can see the split. See if I can find it for you guys. Okay, so right here was the reverse split for BBIG. It had a split. You guys can see that you split pre-market. Basically, that is going to be the top for quite some time. Everyone who can sell pre-market is going to be able to get out at the top, and then the market opens, and then the stock normally drops. That was what's normally happens. Then it finds a bottom, gets a little bit of recovery, and then starts to trend down. That's normally what happens to stocks when they split. Again, you get this big pump to the upside, then it dumps down, it finds a bottom, starts to recover, and then it starts to droop to the downside. Once it droops to the downside and finds a bottom, that's when it could start getting a bounce and possibly getting a rally. So again, we've seen this with BBIG, we've seen this with Mullen. This is what normally happens after a stock splits. Again, I'll repeat it one more time. Pumps to the upside, then it dumps, it finds a bottom, it goes flat, and then it starts to dump a little bit more, and then possibly getting a rally, or it bleeds out to the ground. Okay, so we can see after Mullen's first stock split, we'll go ahead and look at Mullen's first stock split. You can see that's exactly what happened. So after the first stock split Mullen had, it literally just bled out to the ground. So you can see it split. You can see price splits. It dumps down in the morning. Then it always recovers. And then it starts to droop down. That's normally what always happens in a reverse split. It pumps up. Then it splits. It dumps down. And you see it recover. And then it starts to droop down again. And again, this is what happened to Mullen. I know AMC is not Mullen, but this is what could happen. And after a reverse split, you lose a lot of your shares. So if it goes back down to the original price that it split from, you literally lose all of your value. So again, AMC is going to be high risk, high reward after this reverse stock split. So I know people are very, very overextended, or some people have a lot of money in this or have worked very, very hard and put their paychecks in it every single week. I need all of them to understand the risks. That's why I have to say these things. I have to tell the truth. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I have to tell the absolute truth, and that's what you're going to get on this channel every single time. But guys, this is what I'm looking at for AMC stock. Again, the bullish case is that AMC stock go ahead and get this reverse split. Then I'll go ahead and show you guys using some trend lines. But basically, go ahead and get this reverse split. This is the bearish case where it gets the split, it drops down, finds its bottom, then starts to recover, and then droops down. That is the bearish case. The bullish case is that it finds its bottom, it starts to recover, and maybe droops down, and then gets a huge rally to the upside as long as it can stay above that $8 range. And then obviously the most bullish scenario would be seeing AMC get the reverse split, find a bottom, and then slowly start to trend up and then just take off to the sky. That would be the most bullish scenario. I don't know if that scenario is necessarily one that could happen because of the dilution. I do think they are going to try to dilute it down, so we have to be very, very careful. What I'm thinking is going to happen is we're going to get a split, and this is why I'm probably going to take some of my risk off the table as soon as we get the first day that we can trade. I'm going to take some of my risk off the table. Maybe look for AMC to find a bottom. I'll start averaging in here. I'll start averaging in here, buying here, waiting for AMC to cover. And if we see a rally, then I'll start maybe scaling out of my position after we get profit. But if we do not, you have to be careful because AMC could end up doing something like this as well. I'll show you guys. And this is what's going to be very risky about holding this. We could see it go split, drop down, go back down to $8, get a recovery. Then we can see it start heading down, far down. And it could do something like this. And then rally. So you never know with this thing. So you're going to have to watch the technicals because if you look at Mullen, that's exactly what Mullen did. Mullen went down really, really, really far before having this move of 84%. It went down really, really far. You guys can see it drooped all the way back down to 30 cents. It changed to $1, went all the way back down to 30 cents before having this move to the upside. So again, very, very high risk, very, very high reward. We also have AMC glitches caught live on the live stream. If you're missing the live streams, you want to watch the live streams, because not only do I talk about other plays, I talk about ways to recoup losses from AMC. And again, if you want to recoup losses from AMC, you want to be in the Discord, because I'm putting out multiple plays there. I do talk about the plays here on YouTube, and I try to put as much value on these YouTube videos for free as possible, but I have to cater to my Discord. They paid to be there, and I have to take care of the family. So you guys already know, join the Discord if you would like. Hit me up. Down below is my email and my Instagram and my Twitter. All you have to do is hit me up. PayPal, Instagram, PayPal and Cash App is the way that you can pay for the Discord. It's $50 one-time fee, $50 one-time fee. That price will be going up. There are limited spaces. That price will be going up. So make sure you get in before the price goes up or space runs out. You have to get in before price goes up or space runs out. Again, link down below is my email, Twitter, Instagram. Just hit me up. Just say, hey, I want to join the Discord, and I'll send you the payment info. You pay, and I send you the link. It's easy as that. And then you have access to all my technical analysis, all my option plays, all my stock plays, all my crypto plays, and you get to join the exclusive Data Zero family. That is on the Discord. But guys, let's go ahead and hop back into AMC. And again, I have to keep it real with you guys. I have to keep it 100 with you guys. It does look very, very bullish what I'm seeing here. So I'll show you guys why I do think it does look bullish. Again, this could be hopium, but I am only telling you what the charts are telling me. So we do have this falling wedge right here. I went and extended the lines, and not only did they meet, but they continue to play out through this macro range. You guys can see that this line has played out for almost 3 to 5 years. This trend line is holding up as support and resistance. It was resistance here for the squeeze, and then after we got above it, we launched it upside, and now look, we're coming back down to test it. I do think we could see a massive pump to the upside. Again, this could be the AMC reverse split. We also have to look at VW. We can look at Volkswagen short squeeze, and yes, I know AMC is not short squeeze, but we can look at what happened in history. This is what could potentially be happening. So we see price drop down so shorts can cover. That is potentially why we are seeing so much volume as well. It's also algorithms, but it could be because shorts covering or buying shares for the low. Then we see the reverse stock split, which could be the R gap up. So we could get R gap up with the reverse stock split and then just absolutely take off. Again, that would be my most bullish scenario. We get the reverse stock split, which would be a huge gap up to about $19. Price market opens, we see a drop down, and then it just starts taking off. That would be the most bullish scenario. My bearish scenario is that we see a split, and then obviously it returns back down to the original split price of about $1 or sub $1, which I do think if AMC does see some type of short squeeze, it will go that low. So if we do see some type of short squeeze, you want to be ready to sell. Again, I do not want to try to sound like a shill, but I got to keep it 100 with you, because if you don't sell on this short squeeze, there's not going to be another 3 years where you can wait to get another short squeeze, okay? I mean, if you want to try to wait 3 more years and hope it squeezes, you guys can do that. But me personally, I'm trying to take profit if I do see any type of movement to the upside. We also have to remember the risk of seeing this thing shoot to the upside and then come down, go all the way back down, and then squeeze. So again, it's going to be very, very risky, because what if it goes all the way down to $1 and sits there for 3 months and then squeezes? Are you going to be able to hold through that? Are you going to be able to have conviction through that? So you guys are going to have to make a lot of decisions. I hope every single person has a plan. I love you all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for supporting me through all of these times, being here for the good times, being here for the bad times. I appreciate all of you that go show up at the streams, show support, show love. I just want to make sure that you all know that I care, man, and I appreciate you. So hopefully you all have a plan. Good luck, traders. AMC and GME are the same stock. AMC and GME are the same stock. I do think GME is going to see a pop up to the upside here as well. I think GME is going to see a pop to the upside once we get the reverse split. This could be a possible spring for GME coming down this low. RSI is extremely oversold. This is the type of stock that I look to buy, okay? When it's beat down, when RSI is oversold, when it's way outside of the Bollinger Bands to the downside, these are the type of stocks that I look at to buy. Not financial advice, but GME is looking like a tasty buy, being outside the Bollinger Bands and RSI so oversold. Again, it's looking like a tasty buy. Anyone telling you that GME and AMC are not the same stock is obviously a little bit not all there in the head. I'm going to stop saying the R word because some people don't like that. But not all there in the head. So you want to just look. AMC had 3 drops down. It had a drop down, drop down, drop down, 3 drop downs. Okay, 3 drop downs. Let's look what GME did. Drop down, drop down, drop down. 3 drop downs. Or I'm sorry, drop down, drop down, drop down. GME had 3 drop downs. AMC drop down, drop down, drop down. GME same thing. Drop down, drop down, drop down. They are the same stocks on the same algo. So if AMC runs, GME runs. If GME runs, AMC runs. Don't let anyone lie to you. They're the same algo. The only thing GME has is it doesn't have Adam Aaron. Okay, it doesn't have Adam Aaron. It has a CEO actually buying shares, doing things to support the company, and doing things to make sure that the stock can possibly squeeze and not diluting the stock. So GME is much, much better in that regards, in my personal opinion, and it's looking like a tasty buy. I do think GME, once AMC has a reverse stock split, will see a pump up to the upside as well. We will see here as pre-market opens. I bet GME has a nice pump to the upside. I bet you guys it's way oversold. You can see the Bollinger Bands. It was outside the Bollinger Bands. It's way oversold here. We're about to flip on the MACD on the 4-hour time frame. Again, GME is looking bullish to go back to the upside. You guys can see we're about to get a bullish cross here on the 2-hour. We already have one on the 1-hour. RSI is extremely oversold. I also want to point out OBV on AMC and GME. OBV on balance volume. I'll show you guys what on balance volume is if you don't know what OBV is. OBV, on balance volume, is an indicator that shows momentum and can predict a bullish or bearish outcome. Okay, so as you guys can see, this is OBV. On balance volume is a technical indicator that uses volume changes to make price predictions. OBV shows its crowd sentiment and can predict a bullish or bearish outcome, as you guys can see. Now look at the OBV down here. Let's go ahead on the monthly time frame. It's almost at all-time highs. It's almost all-time highs, y'all. As you guys can see, here's OBV, all-time highs, 11.22 billion. Look where OBV is right now, 9.3 billion. We're almost close to all-time highs. It is showing you that nobody is selling and multiple people are buying. You can see that the OBV is actually just curling up in these last couple of days. Multiple people. It's showing that most people are buying and not anyone is selling. Some people, yes, are selling, and I have had some apes message me and said that they had to sell, but it is showing that people are mostly buying, and all of this has to go somewhere. This is the most crazy bullish divergence I ever seen, where OBV keeps going up, but price keeps going down. These divergences always play out. This divergence will play out, and again, it could be after our reverse split, launching us to the upside. Another positive thing about the reverse split being over and done with are people are going to actually be able to invest in AMC again without having to worry about that. So we could see some rallies based off of that as well. Again, the only thing I'm worried about is all of the dilution. People are saying Adam Aaron won't dilute all at once, but he's done it time and time again. He's going to dilute all at once. He's done it millions and millions and millions of times. He's done it before. So we will see what happens, how this all plays out. But I will be watching the technicals every second, every day, looking at what to find and see where this thing is going. But guys, this is pretty much everything I have for you. Ape is basically setting up for a bounce as well. They tried to push Ape down because they don't want it anywhere near AMC. They want Ape as far away from AMC as possible. Why? That way they get more bang for their buck from the arbitrage. But people, even playing the arbitrage, kind of got screwed. So I don't know. Again, I'm not trying to put anyone down. You can be a yes voter. You can be a no voter. But the thing is, yes voter YouTubers, they definitely got their whole community just wrecked, okay? Again, I think there is a whole bunch of collusion. There's no way that someone was like, Moas for 2 years, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, was like, yeah, well, guess what? The conversion. I'm going to do the conversion now. Look, I'm telling you guys, there are some bad actors. I do have people trying to find out. There's also other people trying to find out, and I'm personally trying to find out using various methods and various ways. We will find evidence of collusion one way or another, and when that evidence is found, I will present it to the community. But guys, this is pretty much everything I have for you. This video was a little bit longer because we have so much to talk about. But again, I do think the market is about to see an overall pop to the upside, possibly filling this gap to the upside. We have a ton of resistance here in these 450 area, 455, but I do think we can come up and fill the gap. It looks like we're getting a decent amount of momentum. The gap is at about 452, 455 in that range.
All right, that was the video. If you found it informative, all you have to do is simply drop a like, leave a comment, and press subscribe. That is a great way to help the channel grow. Sharing the videos helps as well. And again, you can check me out on Twitter and Discord for even more Data Zero updates. I talk about stocks, cryptos, charts all day long on the Discord, and I have plays there. So if you want to join the Discord, just hit me up. Link down below is my email, Instagram, and Twitter. Just hit me up, says, hey, I want to join the Discord. $50 via PayPal or Cash App. You want to get in before the spots run out or the price goes up. Again, space is limited and demand is extremely high, so you want to get in before the spots build up or price goes up. I am also working on my trading class. The trading class will be available shortly. It is also going to come with a separate Discord. It's going to be 10 videos plus bonus videos. All of those videos contain all of the knowledge to show you how I make these trades and how to day trade. I'm going to have this with a separate Discord that you can ask questions. This should be available by September. And I also have a membership that you can join, $2.99 a month. The membership is for YouTube. It helps keep the lights on for the channel, helps me get new equipment. With the membership and the super chats, those are what I use to reinvest in the channel to get new equipment. And guys, if you want to support me for absolutely free, all you have to do is drop a like, leave a comment, and press subscribe. That is a great way to help the channel grow and join the Data Zero family. As always, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out.